This is All Access MMA.
My next guest is going to be in the co-main event of PFL 8 tomorrow night as part of the playoffs. It is Jamelle Jones joining me here on the program. Jamelle, how's it going, man?
James, I'm good. All weighed in and ready to rock tomorrow.
Yeah, appreciate you doing this, man. I know you got a million things going on, but first, I just want to talk about this 2021 you've had. Okay, so let's go back to March. You win the CFFC title. You get the short notice call to fight for the PFL. You win that fight as an underdog. Now you're in the co-main event tomorrow night. Just how you feeling, man? Just I'm sure you haven't even had a chance to catch your breath with how cool this year's been for you.
Yeah, man, it's been just as crazy and hectic as you just said it. I feel blessed, but I feel mature and ready for this. The position that I'm in life.
I think it's a combination as well of all the the work you've put in leading up to this as well. How much has that prepared you? Because you fought a lot of tough competition leading into your PFL debut earlier this year.
Yeah, I was preparing myself for the big leagues. After my loss on the Contender Series in 2017, I went back to the drawing board and I started taking on guys that had double the wins of my previous opponents. I started taking on bigger tasks. I wanted to get noticed. It was either all or nothing. I even quit my job. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to be 50-50 with anything in life. I'm 100% a fighter. And if you're not with me or you don't believe in me, soon you will. And that was
yeah, and that, like you said, that was sort of the mindset going in. Like, how much has that driven you to get where you are now, where a lot of people were counting you out, right?
Yeah, it's driven me, and now it's given me the confidence, because people are starting to finally see I'm finally getting recognized, Speaking to you is a big deal. You're one of the biggest and best, interviewers out there. And yeah, so I'm just taking it head on. I'm ready, I'm prepared, and yeah.
Tell me that feeling when you found out that you were in the co-main event on this card. I mean, you're right behind Kayla Harrison. Like, that's a huge deal, man. And you're on ESPN.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man. At the end of the day, I didn't really sign with PFL for notoriety, but they're growing so much and they're growing so big. I'm getting more notoriety than I want. I really just wanted to compete at the highest level against good talent and get paid for it, and I'm getting that also.
Let's talk about that last fight against Abreu. You don't get paid by the hour, clearly, because you went out there and got a quick win there. But I wanted to know, as an underdog, how many people were hitting you up after the fact saying, thank you for giving me that underdog money? I'm sure you had a lot of friends or family or even just random people reaching out saying they want some money on that fight.
Yeah, so number one, if you hit me up saying you better win because I'm betting on
you. Oh, God. Don't even get me started on those fans. Those are so annoying, yeah.
I don't even answer to them. I don't want to know. Like, I don't care. I don't fight for your household to win money or for your gambling expense. It's not a game to me. I come to fight. If you truly believe in me, bet your money on me, but I say gamble responsibly. So I've had a lot of people that said, oh my gosh, Jamelle, you won me $500. I've also had people who don't even speak English saying I lost them money. So, it's funny in all the same way because I'm not scared. I'm a fighter. I fight for a living. So I wasn't scared about the people I lost money and the people I won money. You're welcome.
There you go. And, they should pay for a steak dinner. Like, some people say, give them, Vimeo a little bit of that money. But I think a steak dinner is in order, especially when you did your part. They should line that up. What do you think of that policy? I think if you win some money off a fighter, that you should have to buy him a steak dinner. What do you think of that?
Hey, if I was in the UFC and I was making 12 and 12, get me a steak dinner. But I win this $1 million, I might buy somebody a steak dinner.
There you go. Exactly. And we'll talk about the implications at the end of the road of this thing too. But let's talk about your opponent here. 12-5 record. Really love the matchup. How do you look at this fight from a style perspective?
Yeah, I like it. I like the matchups. I like all the matchups in the playoffs. I like Kayla's matchup. She's going to face some adversity. We're gonna see her see how she does as a champion. I like the other girl matchup with the newcomer and also the vet. I like the other heavyweight matchup, the two tall guys coming from overseas. And then I like me and Bruno and I's matchup, two explosive hard hitters, grappler, striker, but it's a classic striker grappler matchup, but nothing's classic about us. So The PFL did things great. It lined up great, and I'm taking the task full on, and I'm gonna give it my all.
Training camp, who have you mainly got to work with leading into this fight?
My coach Rick Little, we game plan for every opponent. He's the best at that at Sikjitsu. Everybody in my gym accommodates to whoever's fighting, rather if it's Juliana, rather if it's Mike Chiesa, rather if it's me. I brought in one wrestler, Dylan Landry. I'm not really good with last names, but he's a Spokane guy, wrestled in college. I brought him in as a wrestling partner. Shout out to him, a physical therapist. He knows the body. He gave me things on nutrition. I worked out with him a lot. I brought in my high school wrestling partner because he knows me and he cares for me, and he allows me to be a little bit more rougher than a normal opponent would, Matt Trainer. And then I got my classic strikers in my gym. You know, I worked with the best strikers because I'm going against a great striker. So Sikjitsu accommodated me with however I needed, and Rick Little is the general of my fight camp.
That's great to hear. Is Daniel Spitz still fighting? I know he was at your camp. I know obviously got released from the UFC. Is he still training right now or no?
So Daniel Spitz retired, but he's always, I just talked to him yesterday, man. He's a great friend of mine. He's always available to hit mitts and hold mitts for me because he's great at stand up. I'm going to use him a little bit more in the future. I'm not going to really speak on the future, but Daniel Spitz, if I get one of these guys like Dennis or AT, who's really, really tall, Daniel Spitz is the guy I'm going to, and I'm begging to get back into it because you can't teach size, and that's what he has. Great guy of mine, man. But he retired, and he's moving on to other things. He's happy. But, yeah, he's still here for me.
That's good to hear. I saw Daniel's fight in Boston when he fought Tanner Boser. I mean, we had done interviews before. I didn't realize how big he was. Man, he is a giant, and just super athletic as well. So good to hear he's found another career outside of fighting. I imagine Rick Little will be in your corner. Who's going to be in the cage with you on Thursday?
Yeah, I got my same cornerman I've been rocking with. The two people in my corner, I have moral support and a good guy named Todd Berger, who's been with me all the way through my college career. A mentor helping me get on task, Todd Berger, and then I have Rick Little, and then I have my wrestling partner because he's here. He's been getting beat up and taking the lumps, so he's right there with me, Matt Trainer. So Rick Little, the general, Todd Berger, and then we have my training partner.
Good to hear, man. How's this fight playing out on Thursday?
A finish. I don't know if it's going to be me or him, though.
Someone's getting finished. Yeah, exactly.
Let's fight. People think I'm crazy. Like, how can you say it? That's the game. You know, Bruno and I both have 12 victories. We both have similar losses, 5 and 6. So we both lost. We've both won. You know, we're both explosive. We both don't go to the distance often. So you got to know what you're getting into. He has a game plan, and I have one also. So let's fight. I'm gonna bring it to his house, and yeah, hopefully I get the job done. But it's not going the distance. And if it does go the distance, Bruno's never gone the distance, so that's not good for him.
Who do you see winning the other side of the bracket? I'm sure you're paying attention to that because obviously the implications of this fight will get you the winner of that fight.
Man, that's kind of tough, man, because I'm liking both guys. You know, we're all very respectful. We eat together because we're kind of in a little bubble and everything.
Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting. I mean, it has to be that way, like you said, because it's the bubble.
Yeah, so we're eating together. We see each other. It's we're eyeing each other up and stuff, but we're professionals. So when I really look at that, obviously Dennis is standing out to me, but Ante looks good. His punches come straight. You know, he still has something to prove from the first time he lost from Bruno, and he's good. When you really look at the odds, when he came in the season, those two were prospects supposed to be here. Bruno and I were not supposed to be here. You know, now we kind of stole the show with our athleticism and our talent. We kind of jumped ahead of these guys, co-main eventing and stuff, but both of those guys are very good in their own ways. I haven't really looked that far. I really could care less who it is. I just know I want to be against one of them and not watching. I'm not ready to be done yet. I want that million. I want that belt. and I'm gonna do everything I can to get it.
The focus is on tomorrow night. However, the end of the road, that $1 million, what would you do with that money? I'm sure you visualized it. You have to, right? You got to think, at the end of this thing, what would you do if you won that money?
Yeah. I live a good life. I'm a stay-at-home dad. My son doesn't know what a dollar is. He's 1 year old. So rather I win, lose, or draw tomorrow, rather I win, lose, or draw in October for the million, my son doesn't know. I have a 12-year-old son. He knows. I own my house. I own my vehicle. I'm 33 years old. I'm married. When you have all those things lined up and your life's going according, savings. I'm setting myself up. I don't have a 401. I don't have a retirement plan. I can buy anything I want right now, long as long as it's in my means. I could buy a $300 plane ticket. I'm making decent money. So $1 million, if I was broke, I might go ghetto fabulous and go get some stuff. But I'm an adult, I'm a father, I'm a husband, so I have to secure the bag for the future. My gym, Rick Little, we train out of a garage. Nothing pretty about it. I want to put money into getting our shop and getting our gym set up. So some of the youth coming up in our gym, we have some outstanding amateurs, man, some passionate guys, working out in a small area. So if I can provide a stable place for me to train to finish out my career and then to teach the future, that's what I want to do. And yeah, take a load off my wife. My wife still works. She's a manager. She loves her job, but I don't want her to feel as though she needs to work. I want her to be happy at her job like she is. And yeah, so I'm doing adult things. If I got to give somebody $10,000, like my mother or father or whatever, yeah, but she ain't getting me for nothing, because that's my retirement. You're not rich. So, with $1 million nowadays. So I'm not doing nothing,
Good outlook, man. I mean, and you've obviously set yourself up very well, which is great to see. And again, you're helping out, people maybe down the line, not just yourself. And you also mentioned the gym as well. So there's a lot of positives there, which is great to hear, man. I love hearing that. Before we go, got to know what downtime's looking like this week. I know you got medicals, media, all that stuff. You getting in any Netflix or video games, anything like that? What are you doing in the hotel?
Yeah. So I watch Big Brother,
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm a Big Brother fanatic, and my wife watched it without me. My wife and I, since she works and I train and I take care of the son, we watch a lot of shows together. And she snuck off and was like, "You got to watch Big Brother, see who won. This girl's acting this way. She shouldn't be that." So I had to go sneak off and watch my shows. I've been pretty low key. I still been game planning. I still been peeping out how things are going out here. I kind of stalk my prey and stuff, while he's eating. I like to see how he's feeling. I want to feel his energy. So I'm fully fight invested. And I watched a couple episodes of my favorite TV shows, Big Brother. It was a stupid show we were watching, Temptation Island, and I was catching up on that. And, I call it kind of the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of take your mind off it, but also, I'm keeping my eye on my prey. So, yeah.
As a Canadian, got to get one Canadian question in here. The Seattle Kraken, right?
Okay.
That's the new hockey team. Does that interest you at all? I know Kiesa, I think I've turned him into a Kraken fan now, because I know he was a Tampa Bay Lightning fan because Tyler Johnson, obviously from Spokane, but I think he's going to be a Kraken fan. Where do you stand on that? Does that mean anything to you at all?
So Kiesa represents Spokane like no other. Juliana, Spokane has her heart. Rick Little wants to be the king of Spokane. I live in Idaho. I just train there. I get my hair.
Oh, do you? Okay, interesting. All right.
Yeah, I live in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I actually drive to practice, 45 miles. So I'm an Idaho boy. We don't have a sports team. Yeah, so, and I'm really not a hockey guy. If I was a hockey guy, I'm from New Jersey. I'd represent those Jersey Devils or the Phillies. So yeah, best of luck.
There you go. Like the honest answer. Right? That's interesting. I didn't know you commuted in. That's pretty good. I guess you're having the podcast on in the car. What are you doing for that long commute?
Yes. So when I'm there, I like to prepare myself for practice. I put the right music. If I drive that far, I want the best use out of practice. So every time I'm there, I'm not Jamelle Jones happy or giggly or playing around or fun Jamelle. I'm actually there to learn and get better. And then also on the commute back, I get to go over and think about the stuff I've learned. So I love driving to practice because the best part about the drive is the drive back. I really get to evaluate how practice went every time. Like you can't get away from it because I'm driving. So I love the commute and listen to a little bit music, prepare myself to have a great practice. If I take any supplements, pre-workout, a little BCAAs, my body gets to adjust to that on the drive, and I get locked in. Yes,
And you make
sir.
time for interviews, man. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to this fight. It's tomorrow night, PFL 2021-8, part of the playoffs. Jamelle, this is awesome, man. Thank you so much for the time. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I want to thank anyone that's rocking with me, that believes in me. This is a tough game we're in. It's a lot of ups and downs. So for my true fans, for my true supporters, thank you. Todd Berger's been with me through thick and thin, maturing me as a man. My father preparing me from a little guy. My mother, my coach Rick Little, man. Like he doesn't get enough credit. People keep thinking it's luck. But from the area we're in and where we train at, we don't even have the best facilities in Spokane, but we're doing the best things. To my team, man, that just inspires me, man. Even the youth, we got Brady, freaking in the Ultimate Fighter
Alstead,
finale.
I called one of his fights. Did you know that? And he fought up here in Canada. I live in Vancouver. He fought Chad Anheliger. I actually got to call one of his fights. So it was super cool to see him make it on the Ultimate Fighter. Sorry to interject. Just had to mention that little tidbit. So.
Yeah, he lost that fight, man. And but that's where we really got to see what he was made of. It takes a long time with Rick Little. I came to my coach with 0 wins, and it took me a long time to learn our system. It's called Sikjitsu fighting systems. And then it was taking Brady a long time. So you watch him from that fight to now, completely different. You watch me from the Ultimate Fighter, from the Contender Series to now, we're completely different. Rick Little has to get those shout outs because we're literally fighting his style. Like he's playing Xbox with his fighters.